tell us a bit about how you became a monk. What advice would you give to people then that are in normal society? Can anybody from anywhere come to this retreat? Are you gonna go back to the Netherlands? I'm gonna introduce an amazing person called Loopy Michael. I met him last week on this meditation retreat, and he has the most inspiring story. And actually it kind of made me think about, for me, Western society and how things can go when you get so busy with things and life can get chaotic. So I'm not going to waffle on. I'm going to let you see for yourself and hear Michael's story, because it's completely inspiring. For me, I think you're inspiring. So I'll let you introduce yourself and then just tell us a bit about how you became a monk.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So, yeah, I will start with my life story. I just come from a very average background. I come from the Netherlands. I'm 38 years old. And yeah, my family is very average in the Netherlands. I grew up with a lot of friends. I played a lot of football. I enjoyed going to school, and I spent my time just as every average boyhood, average youngster. But also I had friends that were much older than me. At the time I was 12, 13 years old. My friends at the time were 18, 20 years old. And they were going to raves. They loved to dance music. At that time was hardcore. It was like proper hard music in the Netherlands, very typical Dutch music. And also my friends, they used drugs. And for myself, I got introduced at a very young age to this. I started experimenting first with weed, with magic mushrooms, with ecstasy, speed, the whole lot. And at some point, I was 15 years old. Me and my friends, we were very bored out of just doing nothing. And we just decided to go to the city to get magic mushrooms. And at the time, those mushrooms, they were very strong. It's now illegal. And we decided to even get more than the normal dosage. And they were the strongest around. We went to sit next to a lake. It was in the middle of the winter, freezing cold. And it was pitch black. We didn't see anything. And we eat those magic mushrooms. But yeah, that was the worst experience I ever had. I had some experiences previously, so I knew what I was getting into, but it was too strong. And it was too much for my mind. I had this out-of-body experience, and it completely freaked me out. I had this tremendous traumatic experience. My whole body froze, my mind froze. Suddenly, massive panic attack. My body started to shake. I felt horrible, really horrible. And so I decided to go back home to try to sleep it off. But the next morning, everything changed. Suddenly, I had this massive panic, this massive discomfort in my body. And I was scared to go out of the house. I was scared to meet my friends, to go to school. So suddenly I had social anxiety. And I used to play football a lot. I loved football so much. And even to get the ball in my feet. I was a central midfielder. Normally we get a lot of balls in our feet. Well, suddenly I was very scared to get the ball in my feet and to play football. It was absolutely horrible. And so now in hindsight, it was just such a deep traumatic experience that literally my mind froze. And I also Googled it, and this is what I know now. I did not know this at the time. But yeah, it's like yeah, some people in wars also, they have this very PTSS, very deep traumatic stress, and suddenly it's fight or flight, and I just froze. And this freezing of the muscles, the freezing of the mind, I still have parts of it right now, right here. But it's in compare with when I was 15 years old, compare with now, it's like 95% is gone. But yeah, I was 15 years old. I had to live my life, and suddenly every day was a big struggle. I did not enjoy my life at all. Um, I used to before this night. I really had a lot of fun, and life was very good. But suddenly, every day was just a big struggle, and to deal with this, I only knew this through alcohol and drugs, how to know myself and to be able to cope with all these feelings, cope with all this anxiety. It took me 2 years before I was able to say this to my parents, this experience. And eventually I did do therapy, psychotherapy. I did actually many different kinds of therapies all over the years, but nothing worked. And so for me to cope with this, I just started to use a lot of alcohol during the day. It didn't matter. Also started to use this substance GHB, and this relaxes me a lot and it gave me confidence. But the problem with this stuff is just a little bit too much and you're knocked out. And I had many crazy experiences. I had many car crashes because I fell asleep behind a car. It's just many crazy stuff. I used to just out of nowhere just take off all my clothes and run out naked. It doesn't matter, even in the middle of the city where it was very busy. At school, I just didn't care. Just crazy stuff I did because of this. Yeah, I didn't care at all. But yeah, I would say at the time that I started this was around 18, 19 years. And it took me about 3 years of proper addiction into this stuff. Then my body really started to deteriorate, and also my mind was really bad. You know, the panic attacks, they only get worse. Only if I had this stuff inside my body, then was okay. But yeah, it's very hard to dosage, and it costs a lot of money, and it's not very healthy. Also, my sleeping pattern was completely gone. I could not sleep without that stuff, and yeah, I was even the girlfriend at the time. I was very aggressive, very fast. That I just was fire up. So I decided that I had to go away from the Netherlands. The friends that I grew up with, very good friends, I had a lot of fun with them, but also at the same time, it was a bad environment for me. There was a lot of drugs and alcohol. We partied hard, like often, especially around that time. Long weekends, like 4 days, no sleep or whatsoever, and just keep on going and go straight to work. It was crazy. So me and a friend of mine, we decided to go to Australia, and took me about a half year to save for this. I did cold turkey detoxing, not detoxing. I was just cold turkey. I stopped this kind of drugs. I had a horrible experience. I could not sleep for a week. I could not eat. I was shaking so bad. But slowly, it started to get better, back on my feet again. And so me and my friend, we went to Australia. My goal was to stay there permanently, maybe to find a Australian woman and see how life goes. Because I knew that if I go back to the Netherlands, things will go bad again. I did not have the self-discipline, not the right environment. And so being in Australia, after a month already, my friend, he met this woman, Australian woman. I met an Irish/Mexican woman, and he started to have a relationship with her. I started to have a relationship with my girlfriend at the time, and we eventually we split up. I went to travel with her. He stayed in Australia with her, and we did nearly whole of Australia, backpacking. I had a very good time, but even at that time, there was a lot of anxiety, a lot of discomfort, and to deal with this, I drink every day alcohol. So in Australia, there's like the big how do you call it? Big cartons of wine, goon. It's the only thing that was a little bit cheap, was about, at the time, was $13 for 4 liters of wine. Was doable for us. But yeah, I drink, and yeah, if it was possible, I drink the whole day. If it's not possible, because I was the only one that was able to drive. I had my international driver license, and both my friend at the time and my girlfriend, she was too scared to drive. My friend had no driver license, so I also had to be careful. Actually, I was caught by the Australian police, and I had to go to court actually, because it was on St. Patrick's Day. We drank like a bottle of whiskey, and yeah, I was caught in the village because we were buying more whiskey. Well, I was completely out of my head. I forgot to turn on the lights on the car, and I was pulled over. And then I was very scared at the time because I thought, oh, they're gonna deport me back to the Netherlands. But I had the choice to go to stay in prison for 3 days, I believe. Yeah, 3 days, or to do community service. So I did community service, and I think it was 4 or 5 days. It was very easy. It was actually very enjoyable. But yeah, even in Australia, I was not able to be okay. But what I did notice that over time, I did get a little bit more self-confident, and anxiety got a little bit less. But it was horrible. And so after being a year in Australia, we saved up a lot of money. We did all the different kinds of jobs, a lot of fruit picking jobs. So after we went, after Australia, we went to travel to Southeast Asia. Our plan was to stay as long as possible in Southeast Asia, or to travel around. And I think we had around 10,000 K saved up Australian dollars. And at the time was quite some money. And we decided to first go to Thailand. And after being here in Thailand for two weeks, we went from the islands, Bangkok, the whole south, to Chiang Mai. And I still remember very well that we were on a market somewhere in Chiang Mai. We tried to get out money, but yeah, we did get out money. Only when the day afterwards, all the money that was taken out of our credit cards, so it was skimmed. Both our credit cards, so for mine and my girlfriend at the time. And so we have literally only the money that we had from the ATM, and the rest of all the money, the $10,000 were gone. So we asked a local monk if they could help us out somehow. And this monk, he invited us over to go to this local temple of his. And that's where we stayed. Our credit cards were insured. And we had a lot of calls to Australia to see when we get the money back. And eventually took 1.5 months to get our money back. And but in the meantime, we stayed here at the temple. It didn't cost anything. And this is how I got introduced to Buddhism. Also to see how monks live. There was one English-speaking monk. He spoke just a little bit of English, but he taught us meditation. He taught us Dhamma. He showed us how monks live. And this temple is like 400 years old, very old. It's not like Pa Pae at all. It's very old, very traditional. And we stayed on a concrete floor. We slept on the concrete floor. It was cold water, just 2 scoops of rice, a little bit of vegetables. There was no meat, 2 bananas a day. So it was a lot of suffering for me at the time. I was not used to this, and also to be in hunger. But after doing this for 4 weeks, I had this very deep inner experience. And suddenly I started to understand what they were talking about through 6, maybe 8 hours of meditation a day, Vipassana. I had this deep inner stillness, and I was able to see my thoughts, my feelings from a third person perspective. They did not affect anymore. So my anxiety suddenly was just gone. It was absolutely amazing experience. And this was literally like this eureka moment for myself. And I started to understand, oh, there's more. The mind and body is not one thing. There's more to it. But we stayed on for another couple of weeks, and I wasn't able to get back to the experience again. But I did learn a lot through all these experiences and through the meditation. And so after we got the money back in our bank accounts, yeah, we start traveling again. I did experience like there was a deeper stillness in me. I had more conscious. I was more aware of myself, also my surroundings. But still, this anxiety was still very deep. So it was still there, but it was a slight bit was off. Um, so we traveled around Southeast Asia, Nepal, India, Indonesia, and eventually I got sick E. coli bacteria in India, and I had to go back. I stayed for 1 week in Agra in the hospital, but I was not able to recover properly, and so we had to go back to Europe. I went for 2 months or so, went back to the Netherlands. Eventually, I went to live in Ireland with my girlfriend at the time. So I stayed for 2.5 years in Ireland, and go back to the Netherlands. I finished my bachelor in the Netherlands, and after being back in the Netherlands, we broke up at this time. Sorry, and yeah, I came back in the same routine, in the same friends, group of friends, and yeah, just within a half year being back, after 3.5 years being away from the Netherlands and from this whole stuff, I just back in the same old routine. So I started to hang out with the same people again, so party hard again, and just went from bad to worse. And yeah, it was just craziness. Doesn't mean that I also had some moments that I enjoyed. Not everything was massively bad, but generally speaking, I did not really enjoy too much. And yeah, over time, the drugs got worse. They got stronger, different kinds of substances. And at some point, yeah, I was just 24 hours, I was numb. It was either benzodiazepines, the very strong ones like roofies, or sometimes I had moments that I just took amphetamines. Sometimes it was just only alcohol. Sometimes it was GHB again. Sometimes it was opioids. It's just I did anything. It didn't matter. And but things started to change again when I went 3.5 years ago. I started a new job, a company called ASML, and semiconductor business, which I really enjoyed. It was absolutely amazing job, very well paid, really nice people, but the competition and the work pressure was tremendous, and I just doubted myself so much. My mind got so the best of me, and to know myself again, I started to do this cocktail of drugs, this amphetamine combination with very strong sleeping tablets. Um, Also, but it's a tranquilizer. It's kind of similar as GHB, only this one was much more chemical and much more long lasting. And just yeah, it was what I did 24 hours a day for about 3.5 years. Just went from bad to worse. So I was able to manage this for 3 years and be okay with it. But yeah, just slowly, I started to deteriorate again. And my mind really, I was completely out of it. The last half year was craziness. And at the time, so that's now 1.5 year ago, I went to wedding in Rio de Janeiro. A friend of mine, Dutch friend, got married to a Brazilian woman, and I hooked up with her best friend. So actually, we fell in love in Brazil. I stayed on a little bit in Brazil, and eventually decided to bring her to the Netherlands. but yeah, we hardly knew each other, and yeah, it was just a very bad decision again for me. And at the same time, what I was not able to be in a relationship. It was just pure lust. It's nothing to do with anything else. It was just pure lust because a beautiful woman, Brazilian, yeah, it was my kind of thing. And so I brought her over to the Netherlands without really knowing her, and it just was not good. Yeah, I mean, I was not good for her, for her needs. And at the same time, she was stuck in my apartment, and I had to go to work, all that kind of stuff. So it was not very good. And at some point, just really went out of control, and we had massive fights, and just had this massive panic attack that lasted for 1.5 day. I did not sleep, did not eat anything. I was shaking so much. And next to my bed, I had a bag of very strong sleeping tablets, 38 of them. And just, yeah, without really thinking, I took those tablets, and I had my bottle of water next to me. So I drank them. I just wanted to quit. I was done. I didn't know what to do with myself anymore, what to do in this relationship, in this situation, what to do with anything in life. So for me, I was done. So I wanted to kill myself. But somehow, even though I had 38 of those tablets in my body, I did not fall asleep. And after 40 minutes into having these pills, I started to have a cigarette outside, where on the balcony next to my girlfriend. And then I started to say, that I took those pills. I was very relaxed. I was actually laughing a lot. I was already getting out of my head. And and she looked at me, and she thought, oh, something is completely off. And then she started to realize that she looked, she saw the bag on the bed, and all the alarm bells went off, and she started to call my friends. Within 5-10 minutes, the ambulance was there. My friends were there in my apartment. Within 15 minutes, I was in the hospital. My parents were. I just had a glimpse of my parents next to my bed, but then the whole stuff started to work, so I don't remember much. But that incident, what I did, that sent shockwaves towards my friends, to my family. Nobody knew that I would be able to do something like this, because I was able to have this massive mask my whole life. I was able to manipulate people so easy. I did my best to hide my physical condition. I went underneath a sunbath every 2 weeks. I had even some Botox in my eyes, in my eye sacs. I actually looked pretty well. Nobody would think that there was something wrong with me, and also the way I was talking was okay. But yeah, then it was absolutely, most people, they were completely shocked. Some people really got also traumatic experience because of this, especially very close related friends. My sister, she still has problems with this. My parents, of course, they were shocked. So yeah, it's not very nice. But being in hospital for one night, then afterwards I went to my parents. I slept for, I think, for 1.5 day after this. And after 2 days or so, I went back to work. I just again, I manipulated my parents and my friends because I was also an addiction for me. Work. I was addicted to everything. Yeah, I did everything with 200%. Nothing like normal, average. Everything was black and white. It's part of my addictive behavior. So I went straight back to work, pretend nothing happened. And yes, my girlfriend, we separated after this. I haven't seen her after this incident anymore. Um, but yeah, I went back into the same cycle, drugs, all that stuff. And it got really out of control, really bad. My body started to shake non-stop, no control over it. Like I was behind a computer in the clean room, and just suddenly some of my colleagues, they said, well, what's happening with you? You know, they did see some things, some side effects. I felt really bad. And yeah, also this was around December in 2000, 2023, that I was caught doing drugs. So was also finished my job, and it was a very well paid job. And because of this, I was not able to pay for my apartment. And after a couple of weeks after this incident, I also crashed my car into some other car, total loss. The next day, I crashed my scooter, was also broken. My whole body was done. I had to live back to my parents again. I remember it was in the beginning of January. My friends and everybody, they came to help me to empty my apartment. For I couldn't do anything. I couldn't help them because my body was just constantly shaking nonstop. I was not able to do anything. I was not able to move. It was that bad. It took me another 2 months. First, we to go to rehab. So first, we tried to go to rehab in the Netherlands, but there was a waiting list for half a year. If I had to wait for this, then I probably would have been dead. And so then we decided to find something in South Africa. It's very common in the Netherlands, and it's cheaper, and the care is a lot better. And so after being at my parents' house for 2 months, I went to South Africa. Being in South Africa, I actually took half a kilo of the stuff that I took with me to South Africa, as I thought I would detox there. But it was just complete cold turkey. And yeah, I was so completely lost from reality. Even in the airplane, I took this amphetamine, I took my last pills. And yeah, if I was caught with half a kilo of this stuff, yeah, it would have been a different story.
Yes.
But luckily nothing happened. But yeah, so I arrived there in the rehab, and yeah, they go through all the suitcases, and they found this half a kilo, and yeah, they had to laugh. I mean, they never seen anything like it. Well, yeah, after arriving there, so that stuff, everything in my body started to wear off. The first day was okay, but the second day I was not able to get out of bed. I started to shake very badly. After some point, I think after 6 days, I had no sleep, very little food. I was not able to get out of bed. I had to go to another place, a hospital, where there were 24 hours surveillance. And at the time, they really think that I would not able to make it through this. And they even called my parents to say maybe it's a good time to come to Cape Town, as your son might be dying. And but after being there for about 3-4 days, my blood pressure starts to get back to normal again. My heart rate starts to get back to normal again. But I stayed there for 2 weeks, and then I went back to the same place where I started. And then slowly I started to go out of bed. Slowly I was able to walk again, but it took me about 5 weeks to really walk normal. Still, I was shaking a lot, but it was manageable. My balance, the first weeks when I started walking, was completely off. I just suddenly fell out of nowhere. I still had very bad psychotic experiences. Like the first 2 weeks, I don't remember much, but I talked nonsense, complete like hallucinations. That's what the nurses said to me and the people around me. That just complete nonsense. Sometimes I was thinking that I was be on a pirate ship. Sometimes I was in an ambulance. This crazy stuff. Well, after in total being in 12 weeks in Cape Town in rehab, yeah, things were pretty good at the time. At the end, I was very happy, and I was being sober since a long time, and I had a different life perspective again. So I went back to the Netherlands, and it was now the start of the summer. And the first 1.5 month back in the Netherlands, things were really bright. It was really nice. I started to see all people again, and I had a lot of confidence. The mind was not crazy. Everything was very easy. I did everything that I learned in rehab. So the 12 steps, the meetings, the people, the sponsors. Also, I went to all the meetings and met a lot of people there. Very nice. But after 1.5 months, yeah, my mind slowly started to go back to the same patterns again. So this deep negativity in me, the anxiety that comes with it, and it got really strong again. And I didn't know what to do with myself. I did everything that I was supposed to do, following the rehab, but nothing worked. And at some point, I was on YouTube and I saw this video of Loopy Nick, an American monk who also stayed in Pa Pae many years ago. He's now a monk at the main temple in Bangkok, Dhammakaya temple. But he also has had not the same background, but also similar issues. A lot of anxiety, a lot of fears, that kind of stuff. No real happiness. And I saw his videos, and they were very uplifting. And I saw also the transition in him, and what he was able to manage being in monkhood, and through meditation, through mindfulness. And suddenly it made sense, because of the first experience I had in Thailand. It was my seed that was planted in me. And then suddenly I just forgot about this all those years. I didn't think about it. And then suddenly I realized, yeah, this is the way to go. So after seeing this video, I think it took me about 1 month to go to Thailand. I started out my monkhood in Ai Monastery, which is 3 kilometers away from here. It's like a monk school. For me, it was a very good foundation. See, meditation was very difficult for me, really, really difficult. The first month, I had this massive panic attacks while I was doing meditation. I didn't know that it was possible. I thought meditation is for relaxation, but it's much deeper than this. And through meditation, you go really to the roots of everything. You're really gonna feel all the feelings, all the memories that you have pushed away in the past. They will come up at some point. And it is a challenge to sit through this and completely accept the feelings that you have. This in the beginning is very difficult. And I was not able to accept and surrender to the present moment. I was not. But it takes time, it takes effort and practice. But at some point, it got better. I would say after 3 months of being in monkhood, I started to get this deep inner stillness. And even 3 months longer, I really had this deep inner stillness throughout the day, this deep inner peace, inner satisfaction. I did not have any panic attacks or whatsoever. There's no such thing as depression. There's no such thing as loneliness or whatsoever if you're in the present moment. It just doesn't exist. And now I'm able to be happy every single day. Every day, I feel very grateful that I'm here, that I can do this. There's a lot of people that have been in the same shoes as me, but they are not able to find something like this. Or they feel like they have to stay with their family or whatsoever. Or maybe it's already too late, they already passed away. Many people like this. But it is through this rigorous meditation and to completely accept whatever happens within yourself. This are able to liberate my feelings, my anxiety. There's still like some rest, anxiety left, energy in my body, but it's in compare with 10 months ago now, it's nothing. It's easy. Doesn't matter. It's no big deal. Yeah, it's amazing experience, absolutely amazing experience. And yeah, meditation can really do miracles. Otherwise, I had to struggle my whole life with going to those meetings to do the 12 steps. Well, I wasn't able to do it anyway. I mean, doing my life normally. But now I'm able to be in peace no matter what happens. And this is the most important tool that I ever learned. And everybody can get there. Yes, as a monk, we have the time. We don't have to think about the money. We don't have to think about work tomorrow, or we don't have to think about what we're going to eat tomorrow. So it makes it a lot easier. But it is for everyone. It's just a little bit easier as a monk.
What advice would you give to people then that are in normal society? Obviously, like you said, as a monk, it is easier.
Yes.
What advice would you give to people out there that are struggling with work and families and the chaos that goes on in society?
Yeah, it all comes back to self-awareness. So we mentally, we push away, unconsciously, we push away our feelings, our bad feelings. We hold on to the positivity, we hold on to the positive feelings in our lives. We cling to this so much that we actually choke ourselves. But to be able to find this inner peace, the inner wisdom, inner happiness, we have to let go of both sides. So no extremes anymore. And this is all through self-awareness, through mindfulness. And you can practice this at any moment, every day. Often people think, oh, you have to sit to do meditation for so many hours a day. There's no need. Yes, meditation can be very helpful, and it's a lot easier for most people to start with, definitely. But it's all coming back to use your breathing as your meditation. Try to become aware of your breathing throughout the day, and at some point you'll be able to be with your breathing no matter what happens. If your mind becomes stronger, then you don't get distracted anymore, and then no matter what happens outside, you will be with your breathing. And this is very nice, very peaceful, and it becomes second nature. And at some point it's effortless. So for me now, being in this meditation mode is normal. I don't have to do anything for it. And this is eventually the goal. And it now becomes more deep, more deep, more deep. And it all comes back to the mindfulness, the self-awareness and acceptance of the feelings that we have. But it's very easy to say this. It's very easy to think, oh, I'm gonna accept my feelings. But there's a whole different level if you have to do it from really deepness. It's not through thinking. It is beyond thinking. And it takes time and practice. It is really a tool that you have to learn. And yeah, it takes time and practice. It's not within a week, not within a month. It takes months to practice this and to really find the right balance within yourself, to understand the mind, which is very complicated. It's very difficult. And especially in the outside world where you do have to go to work, where you do have to think about your friends, your family, and it can be a challenge. But if you're able to manage that, then every challenge is also a moment for growth, to learn something. And if you perceive challenges or if you perceive resistance as a possibility for growth, it's the same as building a muscle in the gym. You need resistance to build a muscle. It's the same with the mind. If everything is very easy, you don't grow very fast. But if you have the resistance, what you often have with meditation, or throughout the day, there's a lot of things you don't want to do. But if you feel this resistance towards not doing this something, you feel this, do it anyway. There's where you grow. This is where your mind becomes stronger. This is with muscles in the body, but this is also with the mind. To get a stronger mind, that we have to do things that are uncomfortable. And the stronger the mind becomes, the more we're able to do. And the easier it becomes. And yeah, in the beginning it's just very difficult. It's not easy at all.
And we don't really get taught this in school, do we?
No, unfortunately
in
not.
the Western world, we don't get taught to strengthen our mind. We get taught PE and things to strengthen our physical body.
Yeah.
But actually, meditation, it sounds like that's actually saved your life.
Yeah, no, definitely.
It's so incredible. But how then? Okay, so how then? What's your goal? Are you gonna? I'm intrigued to know. Are you gonna go back to the Netherlands? Do you think that you'll have the foundations to go back, and when do you see that being?
So Yeah, before I came to Thailand, I had this plan to stay for 2 to 3 years here as a monk, and I still, after being here for 10 months now, um, yeah, I still have that in my mind. I already have this deep inner peace and much more wisdom than ever before. Uh, but I don't want to take any chances. So, and I don't have to go back anytime soon. But I want to have this very deep inner stillness that no matter what happens in the outside world, that I will be okay. And being here in Pa Pae, also I am able to inspire other people and help other people, which is very nice. I never did this in my life. So it's very helpful also for me, also for other people. But at some point, I think my wisdom will grow stronger, better. And I would like to have everything that I've learned here, I bring it back to the Netherlands.
Wow.
And at some point, maybe also start a retreat. Not as a Buddhist monk, not through the label of Buddhism, but everything that I learned through Buddhism. And is the ultimate self-help guide. I mean, the Dhamma is like the core of everything. It goes so deep. It goes literally, it's everything, his whole life. And sure, also for myself, not everything resonates with me. I only take the things that resonate with me. I take that with me in my practice. And I think everybody can get something from the teaching of the Buddha, and especially meditation, especially mindfulness. That's, yeah, if you want to liberate yourself, is the way to go. And yeah, I see myself helping people back in the Netherlands, and maybe recovery related, addiction related, maybe just people who want to do meditation. I don't know yet, but something that I learned here, I want to, I think it's very helpful. As you said, we don't learn, and especially in the Western world, we have no spiritual energy. There's nothing. We know materialism. We know our egos. We know how to try to get to our goals and never be happy anyway.
And I
But
think,
here, oh yeah, sorry.
I think there's a false conception of happiness
Yeah.
as well. Like people are trying to reach this happiness, but actually it's advertised as happiness to buy something, or happiness to get a career, or it's not the same feeling as what you get within yourself. Is that correct? Or?
Yeah, I mean, I have been in those moments. I had this very, very deep sense of love towards women. Then when I start a relation out, everything looks very good. Everything is very, colorful. You have these very deep love feelings in a body. But this all goes away eventually. And it's the same with achieving our goals. I had this amazing jobs. I had also at some point quite some money. Everything, if I achieved something, yes, there's this lift, but there's only for a week, couple of weeks, couple of months. It's just very short term, and eventually it wears off again, and things become normal. And especially if you get older, then at least it was for me, that things didn't make sense anymore. I mean, we are constantly every day in the same loop. This for like most people, every day in the same loop over and over again, and doing the same thing, making money, going back from work, doing the same things. I think about it too. Yeah, I mean, many people have to, but there's also different options like this kind of thing. But also something, if I, maybe if something happens now to my parents or my friends, I have to go back home, and I don't have any money now currently. I have some savings, but it's not enough for an analysis. So I will have to go back to some kind of a job. But I will do something which much more resonates with myself, a more simpler job, not trying to achieve this ultimate job function or this very high paid function. It's much nicer to have something simple. It's much more nice for yourself. It's much nicer to have every day a bit of joy in the job you do, instead of earning a lot of money but have this very high demanding stressful day every single day. It's not worth it. It's much nicer to have a small home, a cozy home instead of a massive house where a lot of emptiness, and it just didn't make sense. It's all ego driven. It's much nice to have a small car that works properly and have this massive car. It's just, yeah, I mean, for me, I used to do that the same. I used to do the same. But now I don't care about this anymore. I just want simplicity. This makes my life happy. Here as a monk, we have literally just a wooden cottage. And life is very simple. I do have my laptop, I do have my phone, but that's just about it. I keep things very simple. And I'm more happy than ever before. This is through the simplicity of our lives, but also to have time for our minds to settle. Not the whole day trying to find this distractions the whole day. Normally, before I become a monk, I wasn't able to sit at home in my own apartment, to sit still to watch a Netflix series or to read a book, to be with myself. Not possible. I was so anxious. I was just so hyperactive all at the same time. I always had to be surrounded by people to talk and to have distraction. And now it's actually very nice not to have anything, just to sit and look at the nature and do nothing. It's the most peaceful, most enjoyable moment in my life. And it's completely the opposite. And we are so focused in the Western world just to have distractions constantly. If people come back from home, the first thing they do probably is watch Netflix or do maybe music related or look for another distraction. They never sit for 5 minutes with themselves, maybe on the toilet, but then even they often read their phones.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
They
it's
do.
never,
For a
we
minute.
never have those moments for ourselves that we have this peace of quiet. Our minds are not used to it anymore.
No.
And I do think 100 years ago, people were much more easy to sit with themselves. It was much easier. Now it's just very hard, you know. Our phones are always there and they always have the urge to watch.
Yeah.
And it's so nice to be free from this.
Wow.
And most people are addicted to those things, you know, to the stimulants. But they will see that it's not gonna bring them any happiness. It only gets worse over time.
Because the more you chase, the more you want. Then
Yeah,
everything's quite
it's
impermanent.
a negative loophole. Yeah,
Yeah.
it keeps on going.
And I really like the thing that you said before, that when I was here at the retreat, where it like listen to the nature, and it's nature's way, and nature's quite impermanent in itself. So like if we took a note from nature,
Yeah,
we might be able to learn quite a lot just from nature.
yeah, that's it. You just have to listen to the birds or to the insects around,
Yeah.
and already the mind starts to settle. It's the same as if you look into a fire. Then it's very, you know, it's very easy to get into the peaceful mind. It's naturally all the natural things in our lives. They are. You also look into water, into a river, a waterfall. You know, everybody's always attracted to water because it makes us peaceful. Our mind's
so
peaceful.
true. And
Same
it's
fire.
nothing to worry about then.
Oh yeah, it's amazing, and it can be so simple.
It's
It
simple.
can, but it's very difficult in practice. Yeah.
You basically like unconditioning everything for simplicity, but it seems simple, but it's quite difficult to start with to get there. That's as it sounds. But then once you get there, it becomes routine, and then it's actually adapting to that. I think your story is absolutely incredible. I think you're a remarkable person, and I wish you absolutely all the best in your journey as a monk, in your journey to take that forward into the Netherlands, and to the people and society that you were from originally, and what they see, and how you can then just show people a different way. I think that's amazing, and that's part of what we do as well as a family. We all try and show people a different way of life. We live out of our suitcases. We don't have these attachments anymore. We sold everything, like yourself, got rid of the cars. We had free cars, caravans, camper van, big 4-bedroom house. Oh, it was chaotic, and it's too much. And actually, when you strip it back and you see the world, it'll make me want to cry, but it really makes you grounded, and it's the best thing we've done for a family.
Yeah,
and
I think it's
I can
amazing.
relate to you so much, and I think you're amazing.
Thank you very much. Beginning of meditation, the awareness grows. So you're also going to see more things about ourselves, and the intensity of the feelings increases.
That's
This
so
part
true.
of this part of the process. Most people are not able to get past that, and that's I see already so many people here. They cannot sit through it. I try to keep them, let them just keep on going. Yes, it takes 3 months or so to really calm down, to ease it off, but to get to that point, it's very difficult.
It's hard for people to face that, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
hard
it's
to, like, people are so scared in fear
It's very,
to,
it's very
actually
scary. Yeah,
face the suffering coming up.
yeah, you're
It's
gonna.
a lot for somebody to take.
Yeah, and sometimes, it takes just years, going back and forth into monkhood. Some people also do that.
Wow.
So they just do for 1 month and then they cannot do it, but they come next year and they're able to do it for 2 months. And then slowly they're also able to manage it like this. It's as long as the mind becomes stronger, you're able to overcome this. But if you keep on walking away, and yeah, it's a lot harder. But
So
it's
true.
very difficult to accept all these feelings. And for most people who are in tremendous suffering, they have the biggest motivation. So they also have the biggest fuel to get to that point and to completely surrender to it. Even also at the I Monastery, there's already been 50 people or so, and I'm the only one who's left from all the people that started since September last year.
Wow.
And also here, there's only 2 people left for long term.
Yeah.
And then there's the three monks that have been here multiple years, international. They seem to do very well, but they also have very similar background stories. Like Lupi Carl, I never actually heard this.
Wow.
He also had
He's
some
got a good story as well.
yeah, from Australia, and he's been here now
Yes.
for 5 years.
It's purifying your mind, and I think people think if you come here, you become a monk. It's all about religion, and they've got it completely wrong.
No, it's not like that.
They've got it wrong.
There's a little bit of ceremony rituals that we have to do, but it's very little. It's actually very little. We have so much time to practice ourselves, to do whatever we want to do. And yes, we are very limited as monks. We have 227 precepts, but they also are there to be mindful. It's a mindfulness practice, the precepts. And we just have to be careful that we don't be distracted by other things in life. If you walk out of here without these ropes, it's very, very easy to get lost in those things again. So it's also protection. It's the same. It's like it holds you back, but at the same time, it's also liberating.
Yeah.
And for many people, it's just very difficult.
Can anybody from anywhere come to this retreat and learn mindfulness, meditation? Is this a box that's open to everybody? I think a lot of people find this difficult. As we were just saying, like religion, they think this is all religious, but is this for anyone?
Yeah, anybody. There has been monks that are from Muslim background, been monks from Hindu background. It doesn't matter if you have any religion, or it doesn't matter what age, what background you have. As long as what age? I believe you have to be older than 7.
Okay.
Older than 7. So, and then you'll be able to become a monk. But also here in Pa Pae, you can come here anyway, as a participant, as a meditator. But as a monk, there's many people with different backgrounds all over the world. It doesn't matter. And yes, we are living as a Buddhist monk. There are some traditional stuff that we have to do. There are some chanting, but it's very simple. It's very basic, and it's all about the self-practice. It's just very open, very free, very accessible. So there's not like a whole doctrine or anything like this that you have to believe something. No, this is Buddha himself. He said, you have to experience this for yourself until you believe whatever I teach. And that is, for me, is the most beautiful approach. For many other beliefs, there's like, you have to first believe this, this, and this. But here, we first have to experience this for ourselves, and then we can start saying, oh yes, I know that this is the way to go. This is very open, and this is different from all other things. And it's very nice.
I love that. Thank you.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you very much. I hope you have a beautiful journey also. Beautiful.
Thank you.